He had 5 points, and he had 7 rebounds in the first half. The East with a 3-point lead. Back courtside, Adam Amin, Jay Will, Jay Rose. 2 of the 3 were McDonald's All-Americans. You get to guess who. Opening thoughts from the first 20 minutes, guys. Let's start with you, Jay.
I like it. It's a competitive game.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday, I was a little bit disappointed when we walked away from the scrimmage because the West blew out East by about 30 points.
That's unacceptable.
And I like the fact that these kids now are buckling down with the lights on.
I like what I seen from Brandon Ingram in the first half. I know we're going to talk a lot about Jaylen Brown and a lot about Ben Simmons, but 13 points in 13 minutes, being really aggressive.
This one we're taking a look at, Brandon Ingram, Jay.
And at 6'8", 190, I like the fact one of his hidden talents, skateboarding. It tells you that he's good with his feet and with his balance. As you see him active down low with the offensive board, again using the left hand with the finish around the hoop.
And then Isaiah Briscoe, a physical combo guard. It really is built ahead of his peers maturity-wise physically. And when you have mentors in your life, like Kyrie Irving from St. Patrick's, like Carmelo Anthony who plays for the Knicks, like J.R. Smith, who now plays for Cleveland, you're probably on your way to doing some pretty good things in your life.
Briscoe and Ingram are highlighted. Diamond Stone just looking over at Jay Williams. I'm sure he's going to want to talk to you at some point, Jay. 8 points in the first half. I love Shep Diallo's motor. 8.7 boards, couple blocks. Trier's going to Arizona. Ivan Rabb is undeclared. We mentioned Isaiah Briscoe. Let's send it over to Quinn Kesnick. He's with him right now.
Look at these stats. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in only 11 minutes. When was the last time you played 11 minutes and a half?
I can't even remember, honestly, but you know what? I'm just so blessed for the opportunity. You know, I want to thank McDonald's and everybody for just giving me this wonderful experience.
You do the math, you're going to have a heck of a game. What's the mindset?
To win first, you know, I might try to get a triple double.
I like your attitude now. I like the smile. You always play with that big smile?
Well, you know, playing basketball is something I love to do. I love to have fun. I love to compete. So, you know, I'm enjoying myself.
How'd you get to the line so well?
Oh, that's my bread and butter. That's my bread and butter. You know, that's where I got my points from.
Keep it rolling, Isaiah. Adam.
Thanks very much. Isaiah Briscoe, 5 of 6 at the line with 4 rebounds and a couple of assists as well.
You know, last year he had a foot injury, so he wasn't able to play for a long stretch. And I still think the conditioning for Isaiah Briscoe is something that needs to get better. But when you look at him, he has all the physical tools to be a legitimate pro.
Like Lance Stevenson type.
He's strong enough. He has the height. He can see over the top of the defense. And he can really score the basketball. And he's really good, Jalen, as we both know. In order to be successful in the NBA, you have to have a high basketball IQ and understand how to be involved in a pick and roll, and he can do that.
And a physical presence. You can tell he's skill-wise working on this game, but he's not missing any workouts in the weight room.
I got a question for you guys because you just brought it up, and I am curious about it. With guys that we're talking about the NBA. I'm sure a lot of people are going, these guys are 18. Why are we talking about that? They still have college to go. But there are guys that are playing in the league right now that were in this game 2 years ago. A lot of these guys have thoughts of going to the NBA. You see a lot of one-and-dones from this game, play the year in college, go to the NBA. We can talk about the structure later, but just in terms of talent, that's why we're talking about this. There's a reason why NBA scouts are here tonight watching 24 games.
Absolutely, and some may deem it a blanket statement, but in 2013, of the 24 players, I think only 5 are in the NBA right now. Wiggins, Jabari, Aaron Gordon, Vonleh, and Julius Randle. That's slim pickings.
You just saw John Paxson in that shot a moment ago as well. He's one of the GMs that's here today.
You know what I appreciate about Pax being a GM of the Bulls? He's done a really good job building that roster. Hopefully his team can get out there and make a run in the Eastern Conference playoffs. I was walking through the hallway and they had some pictures of some of the best Bulls players ever, and I counted, it was 10 of them up. He had his cell phone. So I didn't think of that.
Wouldn't you have your
Definitely put a picture of himself.
You might have the shrine.
That's why I paid attention to it.
I'm actually going to put one of these photos of Jalen Rose that I have and actually put it on the face.
Potential. You know, last year, one of the players we didn't talk about at this game as much because we focused on the likes of Jaleel Okafor and some other players. We didn't talk about Karl Anthony Towns a lot last year. We didn't talk about him at all, really. And he's a guy right now, you talk about potential, and he could be the first pick taken in the NBA draft.
We were talking about D'Angelo Russell. We didn't get to talk a ton about it. I wasn't here, but I watched the game. You guys didn't necessarily talk a ton about Russell. He ended up being one of the best guards in the country.
That's the beauty of sports. And right now, there are at least 50 guys at home watching this game that feel like politics is the reason that they're not here. obviously you don't have what it takes to be a productive player at the next level and even taking a step further to the NBA. So stay motivated if you're at home watching this game.
By the way, I mean, that's exactly what you're talking about when you think about Frank Kaminsky.
And that's what I was just telling you about that ranking, you remember?
Nigel Hayes.
Yeah.
All that ranking don't mean nothing.
Team that's in the Final Four, and none of those guys were McDonald's All-American.
Because you can only have so many players ranked high and so many McDonald's All-Americans.
5-star college players. Some 5-star college players play like 3-star college players. You're hoping that Carlton Bragg's got something to do with it at Kansas.
But it starts by taking it personal. Right now, you should be watching this game.
Mad. You should be mad.
Doing push-ups between the commercial break. Understanding you're going to get your chance to compete against these players.
That's what I was doing, actually, during the commercial break. Brunson on the point.
Right now, I'm just a dad having fun, but I get nervous watching my son play.
Monday night at Jam Fest, you could sense your son's toughness and focus, and he said a lot of that comes from you.
Nah, I come with his mother. He gives me too much credit. He does a great job. You know, he was a great individual. He works hard, and we're just proud of him.
You had a lot of options. Why going over?
You know, it was my son's decision. He wanted to go to a place where he could fit in and have a coach that believed in him, and he believed in the coach, and he picked it. So at the end of the day, we got to support him as a family.
You know this game real well. What's one strength and one weakness?
His strength is the ability to, think the game, play the game the right way. His weakness is, he just got to keep getting better, defensively, as far as team defense. That'll come as Jay Wright teaches him.
Got any good stories about Jalen and Jay with the Bulls?
Yeah, I was the best player on that Bulls team in practice.
Hey, tell Rick Brunson I need my Corvette back. He got my Corvette for about 3.5 months.
That's what you do to a rookie.
I know, I did a lot more than that.
Always love checking in with Rick Brunson. Had a 9-year NBA career, played for John Chaney at Temple before that, had time overseas, and he's taught his son very, very well. Hey, we saw Jalen Brunson last year, 54 points for Stevenson High School against Jaleel Okafor and Whitney Young in the state championship, state tournament. No surprise, we got another good Chicago player playing here. Okafor, Alexander, Tyler Eulis, Jabari Parker, Anthony Davis, Wayne Blackshear, D. Rose, Iman Shumpert. These are all guys from here playing on this stage that are going to make an impact in college. Nice floating shot by the future Memphis Tiger, Peter Gloss. East today, along with Bob Brown and Marcus Townsend, and then Robert Smith is the head coach for the West out of Simeon High School.
You see a little pass by Brunson right here behind the back to Steven Zimmerman. Zimmerman is the most skilled big man in this class. I mean, he can play both in the low post and the high post. He can knock down a three-point jumper. He's a great runner to run the floor. You can see why his list is like some KU, Kentucky, UCLA, Arizona, or UNLV. Now,
talk about UNLV here.
His mother, Lori Zimmerman, actually was the same classmate of the head coach of UNLV and Dave Rice. They graduated in 1991 together. And him being in there, being from that area, a lot of people are thinking that Zimmerman is going to go to UNLV, but he's made it a very adamant statement that he is, as you see, the self-dunk that all these other schools are still on his list, and he has not made a decision yet.
Steven Zimmerman, when he was a freshman, I remember you and I were sitting at Hoop Hall in Massachusetts watching him play with Shabazz Muhammad, who ended up being an MVP of this game.
I'm glad Shabazz got those birth certificate issues.